The events of last episode did happen. It was not a fever dream. Hey guys, EndoPlasmite here. We're here with the next episode of EndoPlasmite Plays Pokemon LeafGreen. Last episode, I'm not going to talk about it. You want to find out what happens, you watch it. We'll leave it at that. This episode, we are challenging the Elite Four for a second time. And, well, much like I ended up having to do for a past episode, it's very likely that the events for this episode will indicate if I'm going to have to go off session again to start grinding these guys some more. I really hope not. But if it does happen that way, that's fine. I'm going to be running on ways that essentially I can enjoy this game again. I, Lorelei of the Elite Four, have returned. You know how it goes, no one can best me when it comes to icy Pokemon. Freezing moves are powerful. You and your Pokemon will be at the mercy when they are frozen solid. Ha ha ha, are you ready? I was reading it because I thought there was going to be more new dialogue, but it doesn't seem to be that way. So, we're underleveled for sure, which I knew was going to be the case. What I want to see is how much of a dent can I put into the Elite Four's team with Pokemon that I have now. And with some of the items/strategies that I figured out. One of which being that King's Rock works a lot better than I was expecting it to work. I'm hoping this takes it out in one hit. Otherwise, this is going to be awkward. Also, that's the new Pokemon that was introduced for this team. As it currently stands with this specific episode, it's a little strange. What I mean by it's a little strange is it's the same situation that's been going on, and it hints to one of the comments that I made earlier in this episode. If people want to know what's happened and going on, watch the past episodes, because frankly, there's still a lot of episodes that people have not been tuning into, including something that actually would help people if they watched. Which is something that was hinted at for the last episode's situation, where we did do the mail glitch, and the mail glitch actually worked. It worked so well that I was actually able to duplicate the one Master Ball that I had. Which, strangely enough, it was a lot of silence on that video. And it's not like I didn't put in the title that we were doing the Mew glitch. It was just dead silence. And it's not even to openly complain about people not watching the channel. It's just, again, a bit strange that of all the stuff that should have gotten some viewership, that one had absolutely none. You're going to use a move that's going to hurt. Nope, she's going to put me to sleep again. I brought out Flareon because past experience, it had worked with me trying to use Quick Claw. Doesn't seem to be happening now. There we go. Pokemon with almost no defense versus Pokemon that's attack high. That's the end result. regardless of it being a fighting type or the Pokemon that I'm fairly certain it's going to be, which is actually 2 new Pokemon to his team, if I remember right. Both Steelix and Hitmontop. I'm better off using Starmie at the start anyways. Yep, Steelix was first. Taken out in 1 shot. Had enough trouble with one, you want to bring out another? Really? At least I think he uses Hitmontop. I could be wrong about that factor. Either way, it's not looking good for you, Bruno. Well, this is awkward. That's very awkward. That I was kind of expecting. Guess I was better off actually using Dodrio for this fight, for at least these ones. No, you don't have Hitmontop. Because if you did have Hitmontop, you would have used it already. Locked with a critical hit. And Machamp. This as a start to try to see if I can weaken it slightly before I try to use Fly. And I was going to try to get a status move. Probably Burn, if anything, but nope. This won't take it out in 1 hit. It's going to leave it with a Sliver. Bad idea written all over it, but it's worth a shot. I know what I'm trying to do here, at least. Well, that sucks. But that lays out the groundwork for the next Pokemon. There we go. Not once, but twice. So I got 3 Pokemon that I gotta revive real quick and then heal up. I didn't duplicate any of the max revives, which I could have done. Probably should have done, and I didn't, but it's okay. I'll save it as a last resort situation. As the events here, I think, are going to be the events that are going to happen. I'm also going to make sure to save real quick. this is the same starting strategy as I did before. Let's see how this works this time. Already off to a rotten start. Again. Literally pulling the Jinx strat. Put to sleep and then use Psychic. Can you stop? Please, can you stop? Well, this sucks. That heavily sucks. That's better. Hello, Crobat. You're not a ghost type. I'm doing this because I know for a fact if I use Psychic, it's not going to take it out one hit. I'm once again increasing my odds. This is going to hurt, though. Okay. Go ahead. Lower my attack. Ain't gonna change anything. Although you may survive. Yeah. And then she's gonna use a full restore. Really now? Also really now? Any other time? Look, let's be honest. The whole reason why is for some sets of status moves I don't use them is because I know what happens if I was the one that tried to use it. If I was the one that tried to use it the same amount as Agatha's Arbok just used it, this would still hit me every time. But no, instead, all my attacks miss. That's fine. Can't really... Oh, actually, I can also fix that now officially. Can't really beat Aerial Ace on that now, can ya? Mischievous. Mischievous has the ability Levitate, so me trying to use Earthquake would not be useful in the slightest. But Levitate's not the only move. Well, Earthquake's not the only move that I know. You know, it's funny too if you think about it. This is a male Mischievous using it. Of course, I would have a female Pokemon out. Bait and Switch did pretty good there. Although, that's going to move faster. This is gonna hurt, though. I might get lucky on this. Yep, got lucky on it. And Gengar. Good old Gengar. That was expected to happen. This Gengar is 10 levels higher than most of my team. I'm gonna give this a shot. So close, and yet nothing. She's gonna use a full restore. That's actually the amount of damage that I need to do. I should just use a regular revive. Because no matter what happens, it's going to take me out in one hit. What I just need to do, though, is not miss. There. Okay, I got a full team that I need to revive and also fix in terms of power points. I know that I'm heavily outmatched, but again, depending what ends up happening with this episode will actually indicate what's going to happen for technically the next 2 episodes and behind the scenes. You'll see. So once again, he's going to start with Gyarados. Meaning once again, it's not going to get taken out in 2 hits. He said, "Ah, you've returned." Starmie's attack, but Starmie doesn't have any attack moves, so there's no issue there. I'm going to use Thunderbolts. Thunderbolt is not going to take it out in 1 hit. It's going to bring it down to about like 75-80% of its health. Never mind. That's cool. It'd be funny if this actually freezes it. This is gonna suck. Oh. Well, that's pretty nifty, ain't it? So I can do what I'm thinking of wanting to do. Doing that, and then doing this. Really? 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 That was my fastest Pokemon, too. What's next fastest? Dugtrio. I don't know if it's going to be fast enough, though. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see if this idea works. It's obviously going to use a water move and take out Dugtrio in one hit. But maybe we can have a little fun on this. Specific move that I take large amounts of damage from. Like super effective, I mean, at least. I'm just gonna use Dragon Dance. But Dragon moves and Water moves are both special attack moves, so all you did was just raise your speed. That's okay. Because then I get to do this next turn. Pinsir is still very tanky. I appreciate that. Starmie's back again. Here's Johnny. That's a very much lower level Dragonite than I dealt with before. That Dragonite he sent out was his strongest Dragonite. So this one is also left with a sliver of health. Yeah, I figured that's going to be the case. That's fine. I should have better odds at least of taking it out. Okay, now if I do this. Yeah. And here we go again. I have a strategy here that might work. I am going to lose to Aerodactyl once again. Yeah, I'm not winning this fight. Twice its ancient power raised its stats. There's no way I was going to win that. Alright, so here is what I am going to do instead. As well as potentially what's going to happen behind the scenes. I know I probably won't need that much, but it is what I'm going to bring. So here we are, in front of Cerulean Cave instead, as that's going to be our next main objective. All the Pokemon that are in here are the highest wild Pokemon that we can encounter at this point. In addition to that, I say highest, and there's a very low level Slowpoke. Oh yeah, I got Starmie in the front lines. That's not supposed to happen. Here's what I need to do. And then I need to give you this. Anyways, the objective at hand is we have several different sets of things to encounter/explore, as well as an overall final Pokemon that we need to actually catch. As established at the end of last episode, after this episode takes place, there'll be another break, I'd say, in order for me to try to get my Pokemon leveled up enough to be able to challenge the Elite Four once again. But right now is not the best time frame. Almost took it out. So probably cut. So that's all that can be explored in that spot. So we gotta loop around. We still haven't encountered any shiny Pokemon in the wild yet, which that's fine. Stuff like that's gonna happen with the gameplay. Strange occurrence of Pokemon to appear in here for sure. Especially since this would be a perfect opportunity to try to use Thief on Parasect and take whatever mushroom it has. Well, I don't have Thief on a Pokemon on my main team, and that's not the objective at hand anyways. So going that way, there's nothing. And going this way... Why is the encounter rate so high? It's like every single rock that I broke, there was a wild Pokemon in it. That's a dead end. So, that area, dead end. That path to the left is where we need to end up at the end of all of path that's in the middle right there. Yeah, it's almost like 100% of the time that you break a rock, there's going to be a wild Pokemon inside. That's very strange odds. Almost feels a little bit too abnormal. There's nothing under that rock over that way anyways, so if I see the path that goes all the way to the outside end, that's a dead end essentially, so don't worry about it. So that looped around. So that part is covered. Everything on that, I don't know why I moved my arms, but I'm moving my arms anyways. Everything on that whole top left section, we don't need to re-explore again, essentially. That's one tough cookie. That's the defense of Parasect. Yet it's twice as weak to fire and flying. Had the opportunity to be great. In the end, it did not meet up to standards. Funny enough, on a separate note, Chansey is actually found in Cerulean Cave, but it depends on what game that you're using. Pokemon Blue actually is a good example of that, because it is in Pokemon Blue. Finally, first rock break that did not result in a wild Pokemon encounter. Hello, Electrode. Trying to protect special defense, but I'm not going to use a special defense move. See? Bye-bye. Hasta la bye-bye. Still no random items just lying around in here. Oh. You know what's funny? Ditto actually specifically is the one Pokemon that I was trying to encounter on that one route and I didn't. And here we are. A Ditto. Goodbye, Ditto. Now, with this specific pathway, it splits off into two different directions. And each one of those splits also splits off in different directions. So, I can tell you right now that that middle path is a no-go. That left path is a no-go, because that left path goes all the way down at the bottom. So this path is our more likely path to go around and explore. You know what's strange to think about? What's strange to think about is I thought this was going to take so much longer to actually get through Cerulean Cave. so I held off on doing it. Now, as it turns out, I may end up having to make this part of the same episode as the Elite Four fight. I might do that, actually. Also kind of strange. You can break rocks there or just take the long path around. What's also strange is there's not really any hidden items anywhere. Oh no, I can't escape. What on earth will I ever do? Very strong Kadabra, which would make a very strong Alakazam if we traded it. Unfortunately, I have an Alakazam that's even stronger. So, yeah. Obviously not LeafGreen is what I mean, but it is on the Fire Red file. Doesn't really give that much experience. Actually, no, that's okay experience-wise. Okay, and here, ladies and gentlemen, is Mewtwo. So guess what? This is being run in the same exact fashion as last episode. And if you have any issues on that, fine. As you've seen with it, this isn't a legit 100% find for a shiny. Fine. So that's how I'm leaving things off for this episode. Behind the scenes, I am going to go through the process of actually trying to grind in Cerulean Cave to get my team leveled up enough, so that way I should be able to take on the Elite Four once again. I've also got some fun situations to figure out in terms of Pokemon to transfer over to the main file. But all that being kept in mind, we're going to end things off here. I, of course, have to go through and edit the last two, this episode and the previous episode before I do anything else. But that's going to be a fun endeavor to deal with. I'll see you guys in the next episode.